Welcome into the Brooks Bench with your host, Brooke, aka Shiggy, and my co-host, Megan.
What's up? What's up?
Brooke's on her extended long vacation, just so she won't be with us today. But it was a short week, okay? So it's okay. She'll be back next week for the new year, okay? But let's get into it. Merry Christmas. Me and Megan couldn't find Santa hats, so we're disappointed, but we have our Christmas shirts.
Representing
So
cats today.
oh my God. But we have our Christmas shirts on because we didn't have Santa hats, so next year we'll wear our Santa hats. But like, comment, subscribe, hit that subscribe button on the road to 500 subscribers. And share. Tell everyone. Tell your people, okay? But let's get into the news before we get into the recap. Lots to go over. So we'll start with the WNBA first. The WNBA actually restructured the Commissioner's Cup format for next season. So each team will play a total of 5 cup games, one against each of its not in-conference rivals. Previously, it was 10 games. And then each team from, each conference with the best record will be playing for $500,000 this year. The tournament will be from June 1st to the 13th, and then the championship game is on June 25th. So what do you think? Do you like the 5 games versus 10?
I don't know why they make it shorter. I don't really get it. I think it brings more competitiveness to each game every night, when there's, the Commissioner Cup on the line. But I don't know. I don't know why they switched it up.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was a players thing. Like
maybe. We'll see. But I mean, it's cool. It's gonna be the same as last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they played in season, but like you said, it is more competitive when it is a Commissioner Cup game. But I think with the WNBA season being short compared to like an NBA season, all the games are competitive, so it's a little bit different, But excited for that. And then WNBA finally released their schedule a little late, but tip-off is May 14th, 2024. Let us know what games you guys are going to actually, because we're going to Dallas, right?
Yep.
We're going to Dallas this year. So that'll be fun. For free agency for WNBA, teams can begin negotiation with free agents on January 21st, and contract signings can begin on February 1st. Skylar Diggins, where are you going? Please let us know. Because someone said, okay, because Tiffany Hayes retired. Connecticut. That could be fun. That could be a good
nice
one.
scoring guard.
Yeah, I'm starting to like that a little bit more now. And lastly, the WNBA announced it will be providing fans on-demand access to over 50 games played this winter by the WNBL, which is a premier women's basketball league in Australia. So if you want to check that out, it is on the WNBA app for free. Okay. So let's get into the college stuff. We got Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese were named Sporting News Co-Athlete of the Year. I've seen a lot of upset people going both ways on that.
I'm a little shocked on this.
That it's co?
Yeah, because is Angel Reese deserving?
Well, this is as of last season, like from last year's season's performance.
Okay, then yeah.
So you think it should have been co? You think it should have been co?
Sure. It's because she got double doubles last year, to be honest. So
yeah,
it makes more sense. Yeah.
Okay, because there's sides for it should have just been Caitlin, and there's sides where it should have just been Angel Reese. But I mean,
if I had to lean to a side, I would lean to Caitlin Clark's side.
Yeah, I mean, Angel Reese did put up the historic season though, and Caitlin Clark did as well. So I mean, I can see the argument for both sides, for for not. But yeah, that's the newest update for there. And then Caitlin Clark captured her 13th career triple-double against Loyola Chicago. And Hannah Hidalgo got her first triple-double against Western Michigan. It was actually the highest triple-double by a Notre Dame player in program history, with 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists.
Freshman killing it.
Man, Hannah Hidalgo is making more and more of a case for Freshman of the Year. And honestly, I can see more of these triple-doubles in her future. I wonder if she's going to be in that tier with Caitlin Clark and Sabrina. You know how, they're in the tier of their own. But I could see Hannah reaching that tier, by the time she's a senior. Rakia Jackson has returned for Tennessee. Yay.
She's back.
We're here. But they lost Destiny Wells. Lower leg injury for the rest of the season. Man, these injuries suck. This is crazy. We haven't even gotten to conference play yet.
I know.
So that stinks there. ESPN released their top 25 college players, which we'll be discussing at the end of this video. Just our take on it. And then they also released their top 15 college freshmen. I mean, I agree with their top freshmen. I mean, you have there, there's the categories, the Jujus, the Hannah Hidalgos, Michaela Williams, like they're like you can't argue that. So, but stay tuned to the end of the video because we will be going over our opinions on the top 25 college players. But let's get into it. Week 7, top 25 recap. So new to the poll, Washington, TCU. We were talking about it. We come on, we knew this was gonna happen. I have been saying TCU. It's just, AP was a little late to the party. Because now what? TCU is 12-0. So I called that. But then Washington, I'm glad for Washington. I've always been a Washington fan since I was a kid. It's just hard to root for them when they stink at almost all their sports. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Because I'm rooting for Washington, college football, always in softball. They're my number 1 team in softball, so.
Yeah.
Biggest fallers, we got UNLV. They were 23, but now they're unranked, and Miami dropped out too. They were 24, and now they're also unranked. No major movement though in the top 25. Everyone moved 1 spot up or down. North Carolina's hanging on to that 24 spot.
Yeah.
Anyone else we think they can crack this? I kind of like the top 25 right now. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. No new teams that I would put up in here as of now, anyways. But let's go into the week 7 college recap. Not a lot of games, no upsets, which was kind of boring, but it's okay. We're getting into the thick of the season coming up. Next week. So we had UCLA number 2 defeats Ohio State number 13.
That was a good game.
Yeah, 77-71 was a very good game. Ohio State came out and was just clamping UCLA, but man, it wasn't enough. At the end, UCLA started pulling away. Ohio did creep back in there at the end, but I mean, it's like that thing where they said defense wins championships, but like, man, UCLA's offense is rolling right now. So like, and Lauren Betts is always going to be a mismatch. So it's like, what do you do? So Lauren Betts led UCLA with 17 points, 11 rebounds, 5 blocks. And then Charisma Osborne, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. And then on Ohio State side, JC Sheldon actually had 30 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists.
A game for her.
I know. It's good. I think it was good that she came back for her 5th year. I think it's helping her draft stock. Not saying that she's particularly going to be a number 1 pick, but I think it's showing teams like what she's capable of.
Yeah.
Over to North Carolina 24 defeats Oklahoma. I thought this was going to be a little bit better of a game. I mean, it was good in the beginning. I feel like all these games are good in the beginning. But at the end, it kind of just tails off. But Deja Kelly, 21 points, 6 rebounds. Alyssa Utsby, 15 points, 13 rebounds, 3 blocks. I mean, those two are always anything North Carolina, those two are the stat leaders and everything. And then for Oklahoma, we had Peyton Verhulst. I hope I said that right.
Yeah.
15 points, 5 rebounds.
Yeah.
And then over to our last matchup, Louisville 19 defeats Washington 23. So we had Olivia Cochran leading the way, 14 points, 7 rebounds, and Nyla Harris 11 points, 4 rebounds. I mean, Washington didn't look too bad. They had is it Delia Daniels, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists for Washington. They had another shooter that was keeping them in the game as well.
That guard in the beginning. Yeah.
But I mean, Louisville's tough. They've always been tough. And Washington's new to the poll, but I didn't know before this game that Washington was 11-0. And I was like, this should have been in the top 25 before. Thank you. But I hope Washington has a successful season. I mean, they haven't been that good, like we always said, since Kelsey Plum left. But it's a new time. It's a new time in Washington, okay? But like I said, no upsets. But for week 8, conference play begins, okay? We have,
it's what we've all been waiting for.
This is what we've been waiting for. December 30th. We have Ohio State 13 versus Michigan. I feel like all these interconference ones are going to be tough. Iowa 4 versus Minnesota. Minnesota has a pretty good record, actually. Baylor 10 versus Texas. Utah versus Colorado, which is the game we need to watch. Baylor, Texas is actually the game. And Utah, Colorado, and USC versus UCLA.
All of them.
All of these games. Yeah.
Anything happens during conference
play.
So you have to tune into every game you can. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
This is how you prepare to fill out a bracket for March Madness too, guys.
Yeah. Exactly. I can't wait for those games. And then on December 31st, we got Louisville versus Miami and Marquette
Mhm.
versus UConn. I want to watch the Marquette versus UConn because I feel like we
Mhm.
can't catch a lot of Marquette games. So I want
Yeah.
to see what they're bringing a little bit
Mhm.
because they've been hanging around the polls. So I'm excited for that game. But let us know what games you guys are excited for in the next coming week. And then we'll have Brooke back to give us her
Yeah,
input.
we'll have to play our game when she's back.
Yeah, Megan made us a game, but we wanted to play with Brooke. It's me versus
Well, it's
Brooke kind of
harder to
thing,
play with just two.
Yeah. But before we head out, let's go over our reaction to the ESPN's top 25 players. And I was looking at it. I mean, are we surprised Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, Paige Becker's first three? I'm glad they moved Alyssa Peely up finally. They
Mhm.
disrespected her in the last poll. Juju Watkins at 5. That was kind of crazy. Okay. She is averaging
The points
26.8
she's
points.
putting up right now,
Yeah.
I can see why.
Yeah. And then Rory Harmon at 6. I do like
Mhm.
Rory Harmon. I feel like she's not talked about enough.
Mhm.
And she is probably one of the best two-way guards, like maybe the best. So
Yeah.
she needs to be talked about more. Camila Cardoso, number 7. But as I was going down this, I was like, man, I think Hannah Hidalgo should be coming up. When did she come up? Number 10. Anissa
Yeah.
Mora was before her, and Georgia Amore was before her. I guess Hannah Hidalgo is good at 10. Do you think she should be higher, or do you think 10 is a good spot right now?
To be honest with you, I think like the top 15, I'm kind of in agreement with.
Okay.
It's after that where I'm like, there's
Eh.
a couple people that I can see like belong on the list, but I would
Mm-hmm.
probably have ranked them a little bit different.
Okay.
But I would say top 15 is pretty solid.
Yeah.
There's one person that I'm like, why is her name not on here?
Yeah.
Raven from South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
From my understanding, she's having a great season.
Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some players that we just haven't been able to really catch their games. So
Mm-hmm.
I
That's true.
like, I'm sure ESPN, the analysts see more, so they watch more film. So, but I was surprised not to see her name. I was surprised not to see Sherrod, but I know that she had a couple
Yeah.
games that
Sherrod.
she didn't really have the best game. So I'm like, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
can see. But actually her teammate is having a stellar season so far. The 3-point shooter. Do you remember her name?
Yes, it's coming to me. The
Um,
Oh my God, it's gonna make me mad. Just keep talking, it'll come to my head.
but she's having a killer season so far. I think she's actually leading the team in points and stuff. So I don't know. Those were the three that off the top of my head I was like
Yeah.
surprised. They did get some votes, it looks like,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I would agree with those two picks.
Hmm.
Also, I wish Brooke was here before I said this name. I heard Sedona Prince is actually having a good season over at TCU.
Okay.
So that needs to be talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
But like we said, whoever they played, I don't think they played anyone crazy yet. But still, I mean, you got to give her flowers. And then Haley Van Lith dropped out of this top 25 list, but we all know she's been struggling a little bit. But I like the Raven Johnson, the Jalen Sherrod one. Um, who was the other person I was
Frida Foreman.
Thrida. Thrida. I was trying to go through my head of the nickname and I was like, what goes with that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
she's
Frida Foreman.
averaging double figure points. I mean, she's having a good start to the season.
She's
So
not even on this receive votes list.
yeah, that's why I was surprised.
Yeah, that is a trip.
And I'll have to look at stats for Raven because the games I've seen,
I
she
know she
had
looks
great
good.
games. So I mean, maybe the games I didn't get to see, she wasn't like, maybe scoring or doing a whole lot. But I feel
Hmm.
like she's assisting like crazy, but I don't know.
And you know who else I like that I watched a couple games of? Stanford Kiki. Oh my God, I always mess up her name. Eurofin.
Mm,
You've seen her. She plays alongside Cameron Brink, but I think she's
yeah.
pretty tough as well. So I don't know. Like you said, we haven't watched a lot of these players that are on this list. But I heard Sanaya Rivers was having a good season, but
Hmm.
I guess she's only averaging 13 points. But I mean, all these kids are talented, so I mean, it's hard to choose. But let
Yeah.
us know who you guys think was left off the list or should have been ranked higher or lower. But I mean, for most part, yeah, I do think it's accurate. For sure, the top 10. I think is pretty accurate. I thought Michaela Williams was doing better than Anissa Morrow though, but maybe I'm tripping.
Yeah. Anissa stepped up, especially when Angel was out
left.
for those
Yeah.
games. Man, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, get her off the bench. She's a
Well, the
starter. What are
fact,
you
why was she
doing?
on the bench? That's why I was
I think it just had to
confused.
do with all that drama that was going on there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
who
that's
knows?
true. That's true. Well, like I said, leave a comment below and let us know what you guys think of the top 25 players in women's college basketball, the ESPN release. But make sure to check out our week 7 highlights. It was posted just before this one. But have a Merry Christmas. You know, we're
Yep.
festive,
Happy
or Happy
holidays, guys.
Holidays, whatever you guys celebrate. Hope you enjoy it with friends and family. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We appreciate your support. Like, comment, share. And we'll be back next week with a week 8 recap. Peace.
Peace.